Hey, today I'm going to make a super easy apple crisp. Let me show you what I got going on here. What you're going to need for this recipe is 4, maybe 5 Granny Smith apples. I have already washed and dried those. You're going to need some brown sugar. I use the Splenda brown sugar because my husband has
diabetes.
You're going to need some old-fashioned oats. You can use rolled oats, but it does change the texture of the topping. You're going to need some flour, self-rising or all-purpose will do, cinnamon, nutmeg, and 6 tablespoons of butter. The first thing I need to do is peel and chop all of these apples. You do want to peel them because the peel makes a not nice texture and they can get a little bitter in your apple crisp. So do go ahead and peel them. I'm going to peel them and chop them up into small pieces and put them in an 8x8 little cake pan. And as I peel these, I use the little thing on the peeler to remove any little bruised places. Another great thing about this is how cheap it is. If you had the staple products and only needed to buy the apples are about 90 cents a piece. If you needed to buy everything for this, it would cost you less than 20 bucks. Now I'm going to chop these up. Just chop them up into little bite-sized pieces. One of the secrets to making this cook pretty quickly, because it only needs 25, maybe 30 minutes in the oven, is that you are cutting your apples up pretty small into as evenly sized chunks as you can. And actually, even that, those apples was plenty. So these little chunks I don't really need. I think I will probably eat these. And what I don't eat, I'll throw in the fridge. So for now, I'm just going to set this bowl of apples aside. You can see how much is in the bottom there so that you know how much to put in. I almost forgot to preheat my oven. It's at 350. So preheat your oven to 350. While my oven is preheating and my apples are just sitting quietly over there on the side, I'm going to mix up the topping. The topping for this is super duper simple. It's 1 cup of packed brown sugar, or in my case, I'm going to use the Splenda blend, but you do want a packed cup of brown sugar. And this is an apple crisp, not a wedding cake. So you don't have to be super duper precise. That is good enough. Put that in the bowl. Then we're going to throw in a 1/2 cup of flour. Again, not being super precise. I just raked off the excess into the bag with my finger, not the back of a knife. Nothing fancy like that. 1/2 cup of flour, 1/2 cup of oats. If you want raisins in this, you can add raisins. Just add them to the apples. Just sprinkle them around with the apples up to a 1/2 cup. I don't like raisins, so I'm not putting any raisins in. You can go a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon and a 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Then I'm going to cut off 6 tablespoons of butter and throw that in. This butter is softened. It's been sitting on the counter for a couple hours. Now I'm going to use this fork to mash all that up together. And that's fine. I'm going to set this to the side and wipe up this huge mess that I made on the counter. I'm like some kind of wild woman in here today. Now I'm just going to sprinkle the topping over the top of the apples. And it's thick. This crust is a thick mama. This recipe is easily doubled if you wanted to make a big cake pan of this. Do it. This is a great, great recipe for the holidays. It's warm, it's bubbly. Serve it with ice cream. Be sure to get all those corners too. I like the corner of a dessert because that's where the crispy bits are. Every last bit of that. Okay, now this is ready to go into the 350-degree oven and it's going to stay in there for 25 minutes. My apple crisp is ready and it looks and smells amazing. I am gonna have to let it cool off for a little while, maybe 20 minutes or so before I can have a bite, but I can't wait to have a bite. I have let this apple crisp sit here smelling all good like it does for about 20 minutes. And now it's my favorite part of cooking anything, which is getting to have a bite. The best part about this is that there's a good ratio of apple stuff to topping. Let's have a big old bite of this. Ooh, I want plenty of topping. Pretty hot. Mm, so good. I have to have another bite and then we'll talk about it. Then we'll talk about it. So good, so easy, so cheap, quick to put together. It's gonna make your family go crazy. Make this apple crisp at the holiday season. You can serve it with ice cream or whipped cream. I like I like it just by itself. It's really sweet, but not crazy sweet. The apples are just the perfect texture. Everything just crumbles together. You're gonna love it. Make this apple crisp. You won't be disappointed. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Whenever it is, wherever you are.